Enzo Fernandez and the Argentina team. Got to be a bit careful what we say about this, although it is public video, so unfortunately, you can kind of just express your opinion. I'll let you two start. Basically, what it was is it was a chant that started in the World Cup in Qatar, basically them slagging Mbappe off about his relations with a transgender, and then also mucking about with saying it isn't a French team; it's basically a team of Africans. I'll let you go for it.
Right, okay, so to tiptoe with this, shall we? Right, so do I agree with the transphobic remarks? No, Mbappe can do whatever he wants to do in his social life, don't really care. The comments about the French team basically being African, do you know what, right? Obviously, me and you discussed this, and I've looked it up. A lot of the French team, sorry, are born in France. I get what they're saying though, because if you look back, a lot of them are born in France, but their next generation it's like Senegalese, and the problem I get is they're going, or let the French team play. And you sit there going, right, that's fine. But the problem is, if you're born in France, you are French. Is the way that works.
Thank you.
Right?
Yep.
But I do back the fact though that they do have a fair point when you sit there and you go, if these are players that have come up in the French colonies in Africa and then just play for France, then no, I don't agree with that at all.
But there's tons of that all over the place.
Thank you.
I don't know if you agree with Declan Rice. He played for Ireland, so is he not Irish? You've got Shea Adams that played for Scotland. He isn't Scottish. Lyndon Dykes, he's fucking Australian. Like
Conor Gallagher played for Scotland.
Conor, yeah, exactly.
The side of it that I make, right? So if you say for yourself, right, if you're half English and half Scottish, you have the right to choose between teams. I'm trying to think of two. If you're half Angolan and half Senegalese, right? I think they're both French colonies, and then you choose to play for France because you're a good player. For me, that's not right, because then you're not born in either.
But the thing is, with international football, it's always been a thing because you can do that, but then you look at it close at home, right? You've literally got a player at West Ham that just picked Jamaica, and some argument is, oh well, because he ain't get the game for England, and Antonio has picked Jamaica because in his opinion he wants to play for a national team, and he is in his opinion he's dual nationality. If he isn't going to get a game for England, he wants to represent Jamaica. What's wrong with that?
It's happened for ages. You've got Eric Laporte, he was French, he's then Spanish. Diego Costa was Brazilian, then Spanish. You've got, as you said, Antonio went from England to Jamaica. Somebody else done it as well. There's plenty over history.
So for me, if it's by blood or you're born in the country, right, you should be able to play for the country. But I think if you're from one of their colonies and you're not born in the country and have no blood to it, then I don't agree with that. Because that's like us cherry picking, say, what, India used to be a British colony. So that's like us.
No. But you're going too wide with this.
No, but that's my opinion. If it's blood, or if you're born in the country, that's how it should work.
Yeah, because if you're looking at the players that have played for that France team, mate, the reason why they're playing for France is either because they've got parents who are French or they live in France. They haven't just grew up in Senegal and gone, you know what, I want to play for France. They're in France. They're a citizen of France. What's wrong with that?
Ben, right? So you're born in Nigeria, say, but your dad's Nigerian, but your mum's English. But you were born in Nigeria, so do you have a duty, for what you're saying, to play for Nigeria and not take on your mum's side and play for England?
Choosing more personal. I was trying to be non-personal with it, but to be fair, right, for me, look at the best examples are Kevin Prince Boateng, because one of his brothers chose Germany and he chose the African side. I can't remember what country he played for now.
Ghana.
So that is a perfect argument because they literally split between the two. Because I believe they both had dual nationality or they both had dual citizenship.
It's multifaceted because I'd also. So I personally think Enzo Fernandez apologising isn't good enough. When I mean this, as in and by the way, I'm consistent with this because I didn't think I thought it was right that John Taylor never played for England again after he had his spat with Anton Ferdinand. Is if you are in a professional, I don't give a fuck if you just won a Copa America. You're in a professional capacity. and you have literally sprouted a racist chant. I don't care whether there's a certain meaning behind it or what, or you partially grab the merits. And the fact is, you've played with some of these players that you're talking about at your club for a year, and the only time you feel comfortable with it, and he literally put this in his statement, was he felt basically comfortable with it, and he was too comfortable after he won a Copa America in his home country. I couldn't give a fuck.
No,
So
it's
saying
nothing to do with racist remarks, but
it's not racist.
Because, in my opinion, if you're at your most comfortable and you're okay sprouting racism, then you're probably a racist.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a black and white area there. And the problem is as well, as I turn that round to me, you and Ben, is if we done that in our jobs right now, we'd get sacked.
Yeah, we'd be sacked instantly.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. So why are Chelsea have been very quiet on this on purpose, I think.
They just under the carpet.
Because Carlton Cole, I believe, said he should get sacked straight away. He should just get sold. He has no place in England. And you know what, I think this stems a bit further, right? Because is when fans see players doing this, fans know there's not going to be any repercussion to them either. So what's the problem then? Do you know what I mean? Because they could just turn around, right?
Sometimes I think if you're pinpointed and you can prove you've done it, I think you can get a lifetime ban for the.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, for example, right? So Man City, Liverpool. There was Man United, Liverpool last season. There was Hillsborough and Munich disaster chants, and as far as I'm aware, the 3,000 that went to Old Trafford weren't done for the chants. So where's the repercussion then?
But there isn't now. I think the problem is the freedom of speech side of it is too 50-50. They either come down far too hard on something that's very small, or they go the complete opposite way and they give no punishment for someone that needs to be punished.
Also, sorry as well, it looked like the whole Argentina squad were doing this. I will just put that out there.
I
don't want Enzo Fernandez to be the only one thing. I know Romero wasn't in the picture. I don't think a video when it was taken. You got a couple of other. You got Julian Alvarez who was in that squad. Where are the apologies from them or the acknowledgements from them that the chant was being sung? Because it was on the coach bus, I think, after they'd won it. So all of them were there. So
I don't agree with racial abuse. The nationality side of it, if people want to have a deeper look into it, I don't have an issue with that. But I think if they want to set actual regulations for it, whatever. But I think, just coming out and making a racist remark and then just going, well, I was at home, so it's fine, is a stupid thing to say. It's just a.
Have you seen as well? Sorry, the sporting the Secretary of Sport the Undersecretary of Sport in Argentina put out that he thinks Lionel Messi as captain should apologise on behalf of Argentina, and he got sacked by the president.
Yeah, because but that also shows that Lionel Messi's too big.
It also shows that racism's absolutely in Argentina, mate. I'm sorry, I don't mean to sound horrible. Racism's everywhere, but. The Undersecretary has literally put a statement out going, I offer my resignation because I got told to rescind my statement and I'm not doing it. Good.
Yeah.
Okay, the problem I've got with football at the moment, right? Well, not at the moment, it's happened since they brought in. Show no to racism. Show no to racism. They take the knee at most Premier League games now. They do all this. But I'm sorry, taking a knee just isn't enough. No, it's still happening.
Gav, you need to punish these, mate. In my opinion,
the biggest problem is they fight it in the wrong ways. They don't fight it in the right ways. The way that they do it is
it's gestures, isn't it, rather than actions?
Yeah. So what they'll do is they'll go, all right, okay, so we're going to combat. No, they just go, we're going to combat racism, right? So you're going to take a knee during the game, and we're going to bring more people of colour onto a talk board, right? And they see that as combating racism. For me, I agree with Jay, right? Rather than all this people appeasement, scrap that crap and just go for the grassroots of, right, you're racist, all right, banned. Oh, you're racist, all right.
Yeah, throw the book at him. I am completely in agreement. Throw the book at him. And do you know what? I'd actually go a step. Do you know what? The perfect example of it is all gesture and no action was the Qatar World Cup. When they all said they were going to wear rainbow armbands, and literally our England team decided not to due to fear of getting a yellow card.
Yep.
Are you taking the piss?
No, I'm back. To be honest, mate, they're all it's all bluff and blunder. They're all willing to do the little tiny gestures of, well, here's more people of colour on casts and the knees and the armbands, right? until there is, well, you're going to get a yellow for that. It's like with the poppies. Oh, well, I'm not wearing. Oh, you can't wear a poppy. Yes, I can. It's not a political statement. I'm remembering my dead, and for me, it's the same sort of thing. If you come out and disrespect that, if you play in England, I think you should get a fine for that. So if racism,
black and no bite.
yeah, it's all we represent anti-racism, but we're actually not going to do a lot. That's
there was a thing. You know, there was a thing last season, back in the last season. Like there was a poll out about fans not liking all this politicising of football. Do you know what I genuinely think the actual root cause of that is everyone looks at it and goes, what is the point in taking the knee if every single time there is a racist story from a player, nothing's done? John Terry played for his club for another. All right, he denies the claims. There's video evidence that maybe supports against that. Anton Ferdinand also vehemently still swears that it happened. So, but he played. All right, he didn't play for his country, but he played for his club for another 200 times. Enzo Fernandez will not get sold this summer. Mark my words. Won't happen.
What did he get? Like a 2-month ban, 3-month ban, and a fine.
And by the way, Lionel Messi not coming out as the captain and apologising for his whole team doing that when he was probably part of it, I genuinely think.
Yeah, but mate, Messi's untouchable. The problem is with that.
Ben, but it's unreal. You're literally talking about a head of state backing a professional footballer over a racist story.
But
what?
Look at they worship Messi. But in all honesty, mate, I think even if I wouldn't say Ronaldo would, but if Ronaldo come out and done this, mate, he'd get away with it. Like in all honesty, Messi's not going to get penalised for this. He's.
And did you see Enzo's statement?
It's piss poor.
He was like, you just know his lawyers read it up.
But the Americans,
it took about 5 minutes. He took it from Google.
Who's the striker?
Do you know what I mean?
Chelsea at the moment came out and backed him.
I condemn any form of racism. Yeah, you do until you're back in Argentina, then you find it.
Jackson.
What are you on about,
Finny Jackson at Chelsea came out and said he backed him. Finny Jackson, came out at the Chelsea striker came out and backed him. So you sit there and there is no in between.
The question I've got, right, is John Terry, right? John Terry was fantastic. He was one of the best centre backs in Premier League history.
Mm-hmm.
But how can you trust that player? Like, they had so many black coloured players. John Obi Mikel, Didier Drogba, Ramirez. How can they fully trust that player? It's the same with Enzo Fernandez. How can they trust him to have their back off the pitch, on the pitch, personally?
I'm massively back Wesley Fofana, by the way. I unbelievably back Wesley Fofana. But do you know what makes me laugh? You've seen this time and time again in the Premier League, and probably the standout time was when Liverpool went to Man United and had those tops on for Luis Suarez, and they say 10 years later it was a mistake. Yeah. That's fucking not good enough. I'm sorry. And do you know what? You're going to fall into the same trap. Chelsea not bringing out an official statement about what's happening and the actions. I don't think it's good enough whatsoever.
When Balotelli was at City, Balotelli got monkey chants towards him. What was it? There's a banana thrown around the crowd. So you sit there and you just go like. But the problem is, mate. Yeah, I don't think it's just our leagues. I think the other leagues are just as bad for it. I just think the only thing is, we publicise it more ourselves. It's like we're throwing ourselves under the bus. We make a big
but you got fans. You got fans that are justifying it, saying, "Oh, well, players ain't getting done, so why can't I do it?" That's what I mean. You need to blanket it. You need to, if fans are going to get reported for racist and whatever chants and offensive chants, then you need to go for the players as well. Mate, they're professionals, mate. They are physically getting paid to play football.
I genuinely, nothing will happen, mate. It'll just get sold. That's all that will happen. It'll get flogged somewhere for dirt cheap, maybe half the price that Chelsea paid for him. Either that, or they'll do a Mason Greenwood and they'll ship him off on loan to somewhere.
I was just about to say that. But this is what I'm saying. It's time after time after time, isn't it?
Chelsea are more... I feel Chelsea are more like they don't care what the public say about them.
Mad.
Man United, that was all about Greenwood. That was, we don't want the backlash. We want the fans and in the club to be united. The backroom at Chelsea and the management and the owners, they don't give a fuck.
Yeah, but then Man United, mate, they have the audacity to try and bring back Greenwood. Do you not see that leaked document about how to reintegrate him into the Man United squad? As soon as it was leaked, they're like, you know what, fuck that, we're selling him off. Funny that. you want to try it. You want to try and will your way to get him back in the squad, and then you sell him off as soon as it hits the public
But
eye.
if the Chelsea
Rats,
owner
mate.
owns a Yank team, I wouldn't be surprised if he loans him out there for a year and then brings him back when it's all died down. Because let's face it, he's young enough that a year out in the MLS, what would that hurt?
It's just mad to me.
It would die.
It's just mad to me that at minimum he's going to play. He is probably going to play for Argentina again, and that just does not make any sense to me. On a base level, in my opinion, you shouldn't be thinking in your country. But I know what's going to happen because they'd turn around and go, "We wouldn't have a team then," because the old team was doing it. Good.
It depends on the country's sentiment towards it as well, though, because that for me, right? We sit there and we condemn racism, right? As a country, we condemn racism, and I back that completely, right? But if most of the Argentina team have come out and done this, right? And the fans still.
I don't know how many players are in shot. To be fair, I will just say that I think about 5-6 players are in shot. But
you know what I mean?
from what is gathered,
if a lot of the players
was a chant that the team was chanting.
I mean is if a lot of the team have done it right, and the country comes out and there's no issue with it at all, then you got to look at the country, mate. You can't just look at the.
Well, then there clearly isn't. No, there clearly isn't, mate. Because at the end of the day, if a geezer in high office gets sacked due to asking the captain to fucking apologise, I mean, what state are you in? Do you know what I mean?
Then we got your answer to the question that they don't see an issue with it out there.
Mad. But by the way, he will get stick, I think, off every single fan probably if he does play for Chelsea next season. I can imagine.